Hey y'all, it's me again, Joey. On the last video we did, the honey we spun out, when I did a moisture check on it, if you remember it was 19.1, and that's probably still not bad, but I didn't want to put it up and leave it at that if I could dry it out a little bit. But I've opened 3 buckets up and I checked 2 of them, just samples off the top, and I got 18.1 off of 2 of them. I got 18.2 off the others. And but anyway, I wanted to set up with things I still have sitting in the honey house to try to dry it up a little bit. And I've set it up and got it going and let it stir that 9 gallons of honey up that I mixed together. I put it in my little container here, and it's been circulating for a little while, but it's like still 18.1. But I want to show you what I got to see if I can dry this honey up a little bit. If you've been with me a little bit, you know about this thing. It's a 9-gallon strainer tank. It's got 2 of these strainers in it. One of them is tighter than the other one. That cleans it up pretty good. But I filled it up to about just below this, and it's got almost 9 gallons in it. But I got it hooked up. If you see, there's a little bit of honey on the floor there, but I hooked it up to the pump, and this little adapter doesn't seal just right. So when I get done with this and dump it out and put it back in buckets, I'm going to do away with this and just throw the hose over into there. But I got it going into the pump, and right now the pump's pumping at 20%. That may be a little too fast. I see I got another little leak right here. I can tighten that up a little bit. But it hadn't been on but just maybe 30 minutes or so. But going on up to here and got it going into my uncapping tank. But it's going pretty slow. I'd like for it to go a little slower, but it's going down. I'll try to hold the camera still and see if you can see. That light might be messing you up, but you can see those little bubbles. It's going on down and draining. There's no valve or anything on that. It's just draining right back in to here and just circulating again. I've got these sitting here because when I dump the bucket into the 9-gallon container, I just let them sit there and drip. But anyway, I'm going to let that run a couple more hours and test it. I just tested it before I turned the camera on. It was still 18.1. And I may have it going a little too fast. I may slow it down a little bit. But I think if I let it run long enough, it'll dry this honey out, because you're getting a bigger surface here and you're getting a little bit wider surface right there. And I didn't mention it. It's actually 79 in here now. I had it at 80 degrees, but I turned the air conditioner down while I was in here setting up. But my humidity is still at 33% right now. So I should be able to pull some of that moisture out of there. I got this set all the way down. It's saying what's going in right here is at 25. But anyway, we're going to let it run a little while, and we'll come back and test the moisture. I'll probably let it run a couple hours and we'll check it. And I'm not looking for it to be that much difference. It may have to run all night. But I don't know what the duty cycle of this pump is. I'll have to check and see what it is. But I may just let it run while I'm in here listening to the radio and kind of doing other things in here. We'll be back. Okay, y'all, we've been running almost 3 hours. In 10 minutes, it'll be 3 hours. And last time I talked with y'all, right after I turned the cameras off, I set this fan on there and got it on low, just blowing on that surface, that narrow surface there. Seemed like when I'd done that, it started putting air, because I wasn't getting any kind of foam on top, and now I am, and it may be just that settling a little bit. But I'm gonna go here and get my little tool, and we're gonna check, and we'll get it from this, because this is coming from the bottom. Let me get paper towel. I drowned that thing. Got a little more on there than I needed. Got it pressed down good. Let me get in the light so I can see. All right, we get focused. We're dead on 18.1. So it hadn't moved yet. We was getting 18.2, wasn't we? At one time. 18.1. So I'm gonna have to let it run a little while. I may have to let it run all night. We'll see. But we'll just see what happens here. And I'm definitely gonna have to take that adapter off right there and just put the hose over in that tank, because that adapter is still leaking. I've tried to do everything I could. It's leaked maybe a teaspoon out in at least 2 hours. We're good over here. It dribbled a little bit, but I tightened it up. But I'm not gonna worry about that little bit of waste. I'll stick a rag under, let it soak it up. I'm gonna let it run, keep running until I go to bed tonight, and then we'll see how much it dries up. Alright, y'all, it's been going 24 hours. Right at 24 hours. Get you all a little closer and let you look at it. I had it running on 20 during the night. First, let me tell you that leak started getting a little bit worse there. So last night, before bedtime, I went ahead and took it back off of there. I dumped the honey back in the buckets and just redirected the hose right here. But you can see it's foamy. I was running it at 20. Now, today it's been running at 12 since this morning. But it got a little bubbly, or took a lot of air in it or whatever. But it seems to, I think it did a pretty good job. We're going to use the refractometer and see what it is right now. What else? Like I say, it's been going 24 hours. Alright. I'm putting way too much on there. Let it drain off a little bit. And I'm going to use my finger to wipe that. It's sticky on my finger now. But let's see what we got. I got dead 17. Actually, the focus real good is touching the top of the line at 17. That's pretty good. I wish I could take a picture of it. My older phone, I used to be able to take pictures of this, but I've tried before. But I'll try it again, but I'm gonna call it done here. I'll let this settle out overnight. Not overnight. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'll let this settle out. Probably I'll just do it, let it settle till in the morning. And I may even put my heat band on that where to settle quicker. It's 80 degrees. The honey is 80 degrees. But set it up on the little table there and drain it back into the buckets. Clean this thing up and go again. I've got another 4.5 buckets to do. If they're 19 or better, I mean, if they're touching 19, I'm gonna go ahead and do them. But if they're 18, one, like we started with this, I may just leave it alone because I had never had any trouble with 18. So, but anyway, I'm planning on buying one of those pumps. That may be one of my next big purchases. So if I got that, I've got this tank. If I do need to dry a bucket of honey, I know I can do it with what I have. I probably could have rigged something, another pan here, let it drip off of it too. But I've been thinking about this. I said I think that would work on a small scale, and it did. We dried it up. Okay, y'all, the project's over. It took a few days to get all those buckets done. I didn't wait and go back and use the little clarifier can, strainer can, because that took a while to level back out. But I just used the 5-gallon buckets. I did a bucket at a time. And just like it's sitting here, and that worked good. And I started running at 10% on the speed, and that worked real well. And I'll show you right here where right after the pump had started putting it on the floor of the uncapping tank, I started timing it. And time it filled that whole bottom up. It had been 4 minutes and about 12 seconds. So it just say a little bit over, at that speed, a little bit over 4 minutes and 10 seconds, let's just say. But it would pump it right back out of the bucket and go right back up and just keep rotating. Now, full rotation from the empty pump lines, it took like 8 minutes to get the whole process recycling. There is another process you could do if you don't have the pump. If you got a couple of buckets with the honey gates, like so, you can do it that way. You can put a bucket with or without the honey gate down here, empty bucket, and then you have another bucket full of honey. Y'all just come over here. If you got another bucket full of honey, you can set it. This would probably hold 60 pounds, but if you didn't want to trust that, you could put full 1-bys there across it or whatever, and set the bucket this way and just slowly open that honey gate to where it's just a very slow stream. And it'll do the same thing. You can put the fan on it, and it may take it a while for that to empty out. But you may even have to block the back up a little bit or stream it all out. But I think you could do the same thing and just keep switching them back and forth, and over a period of time get your moisture down a little bit. But it all worked well for me once I got it figured out and got a system going. And the buckets, what I figured out with them, in about 12 hours, I could start it at 7 in the morning and go to 7 that evening, or 5 to 5 or whatever. And it would have the moisture low enough that I'd be satisfied to store it in the buckets. Well, that's it. I hope y'all enjoyed the process. Hope you enjoyed the video. And maybe some of you could use that and take it and improve it, because I'm sure I improved over time. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see y'all on the next one.